Hey, it's Clay Trader, and this will be a video chart on ticker symbol ELED. We will take a look at the 30-minute time frame. Real quick, what do I mean by 30-minute in case maybe you're new to charts? Instead of each one of these candlesticks here representing 1 day's worth of price action, which is what you would normally see, each one represents 30 minutes. So while this here may look like several days worth of time, it's actually just today's price action broken down into 30-minute time slices. I like to do this time frame. I think it does a good job of telling the quote-unquote story of the price and then makes mapping out levels of support and resistance a bit easier to see. I did this analysis yesterday, so that's where these red and green line annotations are coming from. But today, the bears took a bite out of things. Now, from the big picture perspective, the bulls are still in full control. But, you know, short-term wise, yeah, the bears made some progress. So first thing I'm going to do is a little house cleaning here. Just get rid of these lines up here and here. Sure, they still pertain to the chart, but from a presentation standpoint and in the spirit of not wanting to create confusion and a bunch of lines all over the place can create clutter and potential confusion. So I just want to try to keep this as clean as possible. The first update comes from a foundational principle in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So for those of you that did watch yesterday's video, talked about 0.042 as support. And with the price breaking below it, it has now since turned into resistance. You can see there, bounced back up, couldn't maintain it, and then got rejected by, you know, here. So that's going to be the initial area of resistance. But the primary and the near-term area of resistance is going to be the purple line there. Again, based on that foundational principle, levels of support, when they're broken, they tend to act as resistance. And the 50 period did a great job of acting as support there. But then when the bears tested it back here, you can see they made progress and pushed down through there. So on any sort of bounce, yes, 0.042 is an area of resistance. But before you start talking about doing battle with 0.042, that initial level that needs to be broken up above is that 50 period simple moving average. So let's talk about areas of support now in terms of where some potential bounce points could be for this. I'm going to scrunch up the chart here a little bit to give a little bit more perspective. As far as next areas of support, next key one to keep an eye on right there at 0.032. And after 0.032 would be that gap close down there. Do gaps need to close, Clay? Absolutely not. That's one of the biggest myths out there. Nothing, quote unquote, needs to happen in the world of charts or the markets. Think about it. If something needed to happen, then everybody would take advantage of it because it, quote unquote, needs to happen. So by no means does the price have to go down there to 0.028 or anything like that. Like I said, the whole gap myth close thing, total fallacy. Now, why do I say that the bulls are still in total control? Well, let's just say, for example, that the price does go down there to 0.028, bounces around and then heads back up. Even after what would be considered a very drastic pullback, what would you still have? Well, you'd have a set of lows right here. The previous base of lows would be over here. So from the big picture of things, you picture each of those as stair steps. The bulls are still building stair steps in the upwards direction, and that's the name of the game. So short-term wise, yeah, pretty rough. I mean, if you're a day trader and you bought right there and you wanted to sell within 2.7 seconds, then yeah, the chart looks rough for you. But if you care about big picture, grand scheme of things, bulls still have plenty of opportunity to build a higher base and therefore continue on constructing the uptrend. So we'll see what happens. One of the biggest questions that I get is, hey Clay, how do you find the stocks that you trade? So what I've done is put together a free resource guide where I talk about the tools that I use to locate stocks that I find interesting and think may have potential. So if that sounds like something that could add value to you as a trader, then click on the image that is up on the screen right now and I will email you the guide. The guide itself is very short and to the point, and best part, it's completely free. Thanks for watching the video. Let me know if you have any questions.